Kasim, why are you studying deadbeat dads? Why are you studying absent fathers? They're pathetic. They are losers. They are selfish. They are devils incarnate. Hi, my name is Kasim, and for the last year, I've been studying the psychological and social reasons that lead some fathers to abandon their children. And ever since I started talking publicly about this topic, everyone keeps asking me the same question. Kasim, why the hell are you studying these pathetic men? There are three reasons that led me to study it. The first one was that a number of years ago, I was working as a behavior support worker in a secondary school. So my job was to basically do workshops and one-to-one interventions with kids who were truanting, who were late to their lessons, who basically didn't fit in the formal education. They just did, even if they went to lesson, they would some point in the lesson they would end up being kicked out because they're disturbing the lesson, they're swearing, they're starting a fight. And I kept seeing the same students. Since I went to the school, every week, every month, every year, I saw the same students. And I started to wonder what was going on. So I started to study the students. And one of the things that I discovered was that I had access to all the record of all the students. And the first common denominator was when you go on all the records of all the students who were constantly naughty and were in trouble a lot, they usually were. So you get three records. The first record is basically you can put three contacts, and there was always a mother and a grandmother most of the time, but the one person that was missing was typically a dad. That's the first reason. Then when I was talking to the kids, a lot of them, I'd ask them, why are you in trouble a lot? Why don't you just get on with stuff? And we'd talk about this sort of stuff, and eventually everything would always lead down to, they would talk about something to do with their dad. My dad is not here. So I'd say, well, where is your dad? And they would say, I don't know. So that's the first reason. The second reason is I then, years later, started qualifying to become a psychotherapist and counselor. And I started working with boys and men, and eventually would get to their family and positive factors and who's supporting them and who are their influences. And many of the men would say, I don't really know where my father is, or he's a deadbeat, or he's whatever. And I would say, well, what led him to become a deadbeat and not see you? And they'll be like, well, I don't really know. And the third thing that led me was that in an attempt to try to figure out and explain to some of my male clients what was going on with these deadbeat dads, I tried to find research. And there was only one article that was written about deadbeat dads. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you what? You're saying to me, of all the millions of articles that exist about all kinds of topics, you can tell me about what it's like to be raised by an absent father. You can tell me about what it's like to be to have a violent father or whatever. There's basically research on everything, and you're saying to me in the entire world there currently exists only one piece of research on the reasons why fathers abandon their children? That's weird. That makes no sense. Those are the three reasons why I decided to research the topic, because I was like, I need to know. All of these people are all saying they've got these deadbeat dads, these absent fathers, but no one has asked these men. No one has studied them and asked them, why are you abandoning their children? That's what I wrote. I hope that answers your question.